defenders out. Are there any defenders in the under-21 team or the academy that you're looking at who could come into the squad now?
No, I think not in this moment, no. But I think we're in centre-back positions, we don't have problems. But it's in the full-back position we have problems.
Is that an issue with the under-21's results? Because they've had a tough time of it recently in a couple of games, or do you not think the quality's there?
Yeah, but you see, we are so many people, of so many players who could play in the 21s are play, and now for us, like Dan Gore, for instance, Omari is always training with us. He played in that game, but he did very good in pre-season. So Pellistri, Garnacho are all players who could play in the under-21s.
Dave.
Hi, Erik. The last two games, 2 victories, 2 improved performances, have coincided with Hannibal coming into the midfield. I think against Burnley he ran 12.9 kilometres more than any other of your players this season. How impressed have you been with him, and what does his contribution, what kind of message does that send to the rest of the squad? He's come in, taken his chance and shown that industry and really grasped that. What does that say to the rest of the squad as well?
I think he gives a very good message to the rest of the squad that this is a demand. This has to be the standard when you are playing in that position, what you have to bring to a team to get success, and especially when you're playing against possession teams, he's a really good fit and to give a good contribution to a good performance and to a result.
Are you surprised at how quickly he adapted to the first team? Because I think that was only his second Premier League start against Burnley.
But I don't think it's that quickly because he is, I think, before I came in here, he was already in the first team. He made his debut. Last year he was on loan, and now, so this year, he's making progress. And so that's why he deserved an opportunity, and I think now he has taken his opportunity. But now, as I said previously on former questions, every time he has to improve and he has to give the evidence that he is worth to play, but that counts for everyone and for every player in the squad.
On a similar sort of topic, Hannibal, he only seemed to have got into the squad because of injuries, which is unfortunate. Are some players better in matches than they are in training, if you understand what I mean? They show more in actual competitive games because, you know, him not being in the squad and he seems to come in and take his chance. I don't know, I would have thought he might have been in the squad earlier, or is that just how it works sometimes? You have to wait, even if you are very good, because there's so many other players ahead. There are situations that are just players ahead, but it's good that the internal competition is there, and hopefully it gives other players a push that they have to bring more, they have to add more, because he did a great job for the team, and he really contributed to our levels in the last 2 games. He seems to have a bit of aggression about his game, sort of like winning attitude. Is that something maybe, not that you miss, but you would like a little bit more of? That sort of aggressive...
I think the approach from the whole team, the attitude from the whole team was different in the last 2 games.
Neil?
Just on that subject, Jamie, is it important for you that no matter the name, in the past at Manchester United, the name and the transfer fee looks to have demanded places in the recent past. Does that not matter to you? It's down, I mean, if these young lads like Alejandro and Pellistri do the business, they can stay in. Is that the message you give them?
Oh, that's definitely the truth. I don't look at status. I look to the performance players are bringing. But of course, players, they have credits, but not too long. Every time, let's say this, you are that good as your last game. And when you don't bring the performance in a couple of games in a row, then it's possible when you get players in. We now talk about they can take over positions, but also for them count. They have to show it. So I'm not the manager
who have concerns to bring young players in. I think we have seen in the first 2 games of the season, I started Garnacho.
Oh. Erik, just going back to Anthony, I know you've answered a lot of questions before on him, but how is his state of mind at the moment? Are you confident that he won't be distracted by the claims, because they are obviously quite serious accusations against him?
I can't tell in this moment. First, again, he has to be back. And
have you not spoken to him over the last couple of weeks then?
yeah, spoken, but then that doesn't give the impression how he is, how his mental status is.
Chris?
I had the same question, Erik, actually, but can you say whether going forward over the next week or two, will his mental state be as important as anything physical now for Anthony before he comes back?
It's only hypothetical, so I stick with the statement. I think for today we have to keep there and to stay away from other discussions.
Just on Lissandro, it said in the statement that he initially suffered the injury again against Arsenal, then he played against Brighton and Bayern. Was that simply because he told you that he was fit to play? It wasn't you didn't take a risk to play him in those games, and now it's backfired a little bit because he's going to be out for.
So we did proper diagnose, but yeah, in Argentina as well. But yeah, now it came out that there was a problem, and that's very sad. It's first place, of course, for Anthony, but also for the team, because he wasn't 100% fit. And yeah, I think it was a big difference that LICHA Martinez in the last games, and for instance the LICHA Martinez we have seen in the first season here in Manchester United, then he will add to the team, not even add. He's really a strong contributor to our levels. And yeah, if already one player drops a level, then of course also the team performance, the levels will be lower.
Last question now.
Erik, people will look at the Anthony situation, see him back in team training, have some very serious allegations, but then on the other hand you have the Sancho situation where he's broken club rules and he's not part of that group. How do you explain the difference in the handling of those two situations?
Those issues nothing to do with each other. Nothing. One is internal, the other one is external.
Okay, thank you very much.